It's a match made in horror. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Horror Channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing another Goosebumps book for you, and I'm going to be reviewing none other than Bride of the Living Dummy. Bride of the Living Dummy, indeed. But before I get into the book itself, I'd like to say a few things. I'm going to try to make this review shorter. Not this review per se, but all future reviews. Instead of spending about 20 minutes, I'm going to try to just make it a 10-minute review because it's better for when it comes to me reviewing these books, and in order not to waste too much time and to make it more straight to the point. So I've decided to get back to the 10-minute review that I used to do when I first started this channel. So that's pretty much it. So now let's get into it without further ado. So basically, before I do so, I'd like to mention the front cover. I think it's pretty good. Basically, we have Slappy and the bride, and they're about to cut a cake. And basically, the knife that they're holding, it's kind of glimmering. It's kind of sparkling. The blade is sparkling, and it looks really scary. And they have pink faces, and they look like a bride and her groom, right? And they dress very wedding-like. Slappy's wearing a suit, and the bride is wearing that dress, that wedding gown, wedding dress, whatever you're gonna call it. And yeah, they look pretty scary. And even the cake looks pretty creepy as well. It sounds like there are skulls in there with flowers, roses as eyes. Pretty creepy indeed. I like the choice of colors with the orange and the red colors. That looks pretty good indeed. And Slappy looks kind of like a vampire in a way. Sounds like he has two very long fangs. But it's just the light from the knife, probably, that is being reflected on him. But yeah, I don't know if Tim Jacobus intended to make him look like a vampire, but he looks like a vampire to me. But very beautiful choice of colors with the red and the orange and everything. Really love it. But without further ado, let's get into the book right away. So what is this book about? So basically, we have our main character, Jillian Zinman, and basically she has two twin sisters, Katie and Amanda, and basically they kind of torment her with this doll of theirs, who's named Mary Ellen, and basically they're giving Jillian a hard time with her because they insist that she sits with them at dinner, she comes with them, she follows them around, she goes every place with them. When they go buy some ice cream, she has to get her ice cream as well. You get the picture. Some kids do that too with teddy bears and toys, but yeah, that's kind of mean because Jillian is being disrespected, and they love this doll more than her, basically. So, this is basically how it happens. So, we have, then Jillian has a friend, her best friend named Harrison, and basically her and Harrison and her sisters are going to the little theater to attend some kind of a ventriloquist act that is given by somebody named Jimmy O. James, and basically he turns out to use, lo and behold, Slappy for his ventriloquist act. And basically Slappy starts wreaking havoc. He starts cutting loose. He hurls insults at the crowd, if I'm not mistaken, at Jimmy especially. Then the twin sisters are going to volunteer to help along, and basically he ends up insulting them, and it leaves them with this sore feeling, and basically this is pretty much how it goes. And then Slappy is going to end up in the Sandman's house. I won't tell you how. I'm gonna let you find out for yourselves. But basically, as everything, goes on as it does in Goosebumps, Mary Ellen is still kind of at the forefront of the story for a very long while in this book. Basically, something happens, something leads to another thing, and Jillian ends up very angry, and she does something, and then she's plotting her revenge on the twins, and she really can't stand it anymore. She's being disrespected, and she hates it. And basically, Slappy eventually, slowly but surely, is going to end up, you know, waking up, so to speak. And he has some plans of his own, some revenge plans of his own. And what's going to happen afterwards is going to be kind of creepy. I'll let you find out for yourselves what happens, but it is something all right. So, Bride of the Living Dummy. What did I think about this book? Now, I think that this book was pretty good, and it's good in the sense that it features another dummy who's the Bride of the Living Dummy. But to be honest with you, Bride of the Living Dummy, the title itself would remind a lot of people about Bride of Frankenstein. But it's not really about the bride in a way. It's just an excuse to get Slappy back into a Goosebumps book. So it would be more like Night of the Living Dummy 4, I guess, if it was still the original series, since this Series 2000 is the sequel. Series 2000 is the sequel to the original series. Yeah, it's more like another Goosebumps Slappy book. Another Slappy book from Goosebumps. This one was good, but it's not really what I expected. I expected the dummy, the bride, to be more part of the story. She wasn't really that important, but it was okay for what it was. I like the fact that we learned something about Slappy's origins. That was a good thing, in my opinion. But yeah, the way the story plays out was pretty good. The final twist was pretty good too. Kind of scary and creepy and gross, to be honest with you. There's a scene involving some vomit. I leave you with that, but yeah, that was pretty gross. Indeed, like Exorcist kind of gross with pea soup and stuff like that. But yeah, Bride of the Living Dummy is a pretty good book. It's not awesome. In my opinion, it's not as great as the Night of the Living Dummy books from OG 62, but it still held its own. It was alright for what it was. I think it did pretty well in a way, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought the story made sense. So if I were to give this book a rating, I think I would give it, let me guess, I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it doesn't sound really great, but it's a solid 7 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but it had it held its own, like I said. It had a nice thing going. So it wasn't perfect in any shape or form, but the fact that we have Slappy back in a Goosebumps book was good because I like Slappy. Most people like Slappy, and it was good having him around, but the bride could have been more at the center of the story in a way. She was for a long time, for a big part of the story, but then eventually it became all about Slappy. So to me, it's just another excuse to get Slappy back. And the bride could have been scarier, and it could have been a scarier book with the bride and some plans like that, something like that. But yeah, the title is kind of deceiving a little bit. Bride of the Living Dummy. It's more like, yeah, I don't know, Slappy's Return. It sounds, lame, but hey, this is pretty much how I see it. But yeah, Bride of the Living Dummy was a good book. It's not as great as the other books. Some people loved it, and I respect that. But yeah, Bride of the Living Dummy is a good book, so read it if you haven't, and let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. Speaking of which, what do you think about Bride of the Living Dummy? Did you like this book? Did you hate this book? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I really would love to hear about your thoughts on this book, and I guess I'll see you in the next review, God willing, for another Goosebumps book review. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. This whole channel for you signing off.